I'm gonna fucking beat him.
Yeah.
Look, put it this way: 2,000,000% I'm gonna beat him.
I've always
over my dead body will he beat me?
Get go, it's what we trap for. Some man they wanna chat shit till I knock 'em, ain't like I'm Jack Shaw. Rolls hat, rolls stack, my flow sharp like a hacksaw. Getting off.
Right, welcome to episode 10 of the Tankdup podcast. We're in double figures. We've obviously just launched our Patreon, so a quick little plug on that. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. It's on the Instagram bio. It's in my bio, it's in Joe's bio, and it's on the page bio. And being it's our first double figures episode, we've got a special guest, Mr. Oban Elliot.
Hello, Tank. Hello, Joe.
How's it going, mate? You good?
Yeah, all good. All good. Just at the business end of it now with this fight, and yeah, all good.
Let's get straight into that because obviously Oban's fighting this Saturday at the Cagewarriors show in Wales. It's not an academy show, it's a numbered card. Was it 1-1?
Yeah, 1-4-2. 1-4-2, isn't it?
1-4-2. So what can I say? 1-1-4. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1-4-2. First time Cagewarriors have come to Wales since October of 2019.
I fought on the last one.
Yeah, you fought James Lilly on the last one. So big bill. Obviously, to come to Ebbw Vale is a big deal as well because I think I've fought in pretty much every venue that Cagewarriors have done in Wales, and it's always been a city where it's been Newport or Cardiff. So to come to the Valleys is big for yourself, big for the guys from the gym and guys across Wales. So yeah, what was your initial thoughts when they were coming to Wales and specifically Ebbw Vale, which is obviously 10 minutes down the road?
Exactly. Yeah, it was. I was excited because I thought it was going to be like it would just be like the tickets would be gone and my fight would be announced. It would just be like I couldn't wait for the atmosphere kind of thing. But obviously, I couldn't get matched until 10 days before. But so kind of the novelty of the card itself kind of wore off as the weeks went on when I couldn't get a fight because I was more concerned about am I even going to fight on this card? You know, everybody was messaging me was saying like Are you fighting on the card? Why isn't you fighting on announced? But you know, initially it was obviously very exciting, and now I'm feeling like the buzz for it. Buzz for it. You know, is
that weird for you? Like knowing that you potentially going to fight, but not having a name in front of you. Does that like slow you down?
It doesn't bother you until you. It doesn't bother you. Obviously, you know as well. You've had it God knows how many times, right? It don't bother you until you start. You know, I was 10 days before. Yeah. On the day the fight got done, right, I was actually starting to think, and I was like, right, this is looking bleak now because I'd had I can't remember. There's some Brazilian I just pulled out on the weekend. That was all done, and then I thought it's looking bleak. They've literally gone through like 8 different people that they come to me with. I've said yes, and then I was literally starting to think like that's when I started not panic, but I was a bit like, this ain't happening, is it? This ain't happening. And then obviously Shaky rang me with the Matt Bonner. Yeah, which is a mad one because like you said, you had probably 2 or 3 or 4, whatever it was, opponents offered to you. I know when we spoke a couple of weeks ago, you had a couple of domestic guys, but then a lot of them were foreigners, like you said, Brazilians and Spanish guys and whatever. So then, like you said, when it's on the domestic scene, obviously, I know because I've been there myself. When it's looking bleak, you kind of know it's going to be a foreign guy. It's going to be some lunatic from Europe or wherever that's going to come in like a bat out of hell for the first fucking round. Yeah.
But then obviously for them to on 10 days or whatever it was, went from looking like a foreigner to someone like Matt Bonner, who's on the European scene, very well known, obviously former middleweight champion. Yeah. But I think he's fought pretty much on the majority of the Cagewarriors bills that you've been on, like you said just now, outside. So to go from 10 days out to not having a name to then having a big name like that, obviously
biggest fight of my life.
That's what I was gonna say. What was kind of like the emotion? Obviously, you elated to get a fight, but then at the same time, do you feel any like pressure or nerves because it's such a big fight? Obviously, I don't know if a win for either of you will get a title shot, but it'll definitely put you in the mix or put you in a point where you could argue either of you deserve the next shot or deserve a fight to earn a shot kind of thing. Yeah,
that's, I mean, being dead honest now, you know me better than anyone when it comes to this. I just said yes instantly. And then I was thinking about it. And it's more like shaking Carl of obviously, like they don't bullshit. It's not like you say like, yeah, you smash him. You know, we've actually like discussed it, and it's not like I ever doubted it. I know it's going to be a tough fight, just like I know like when I turn up sparring, it's going to be a tough day in that sense. But the nerves, it's no different to any other fight. It's more like I'm just thinking of myself. I'm either going to bottle this or I'm going to seize the moment. It's that black and white for me. I feel good about it. I feel really good about it.
And in my opinion, it's a win-win for both of you, because a loss either way that doesn't harm anyone's record, but a win, like, because I'm just looking at his record here now, and you look like some of the guys he's fought. He's obviously beat Frederick for the title. His last loss was against the guy who Christian Duncan just beat for the belt, who's undefeated. He's beat James Webb, Matt Inman, Warren Key. He's lost to the Latvian Express. He's lost to Mark Madsen. So he's been in there at Mick Stanton. He's been in there with some really good guys. So it definitely puts you in a spot where to beat a guy like that at 5-2, it does definitely put you in the mix, especially at the minute. Cagewarriors, like, you look at the welterweight division, you got like I was listening to your face off on the Energize show. Shout out to the boys.
The boys,
But like he said, you know, he's been in there with some top level guys, and they even said you've got guys like Matt Fidglak and Burlinson, and there was one other guy they mentioned. I know obviously Reece McKee has got the belt. So
Jimmy Warhead.
So he puts you right in the mix of both of you, you know. But it's crazy. Again, keep harping on about it, but it's such a big fight. But it's on 10. Like, we haven't had a chance. There's been no real.
That's
build
what
up
I mean. Like, there's no build up to it. There's no build up to it. It's not like you know, it's just one. It's just. It literally just feels like just another day. I thought maybe perhaps it would feel like a bigger deal. It would be like you know, I'd be nervous. Of course, you know, I'm apprehensive. I'm not stupid. Something you know big is going on Saturday, but I'm not in over my head looking past him. I'm not flapping about the fact I'm fighting somebody who's got. I said on an interview yesterday, you're the same. I've been fighting boys older than me with more fights, more experience since I was like 18, 19. So this is just another one of them. It's really, to me, I'm just going to...
Yeah, it's just the difference is, I suppose, you haven't had that time for it to build, have you? And
for the people watching, I guess it's different, but...
To be honest, that's not a bad thing sometimes.
No,
sometimes the less amount of time you've got to think about something, especially in terms of fighting, the less amount... Like, there's nothing worse than having to take a fight on short notice for when they switch the name, but at the same time... You don't really give a fuck. You just want to...
I'm trying to say, I literally don't give a fuck.
You just want to fight. Like, you know, you've done 6 weeks training, whatever. Imagine then to snatch away like 10 days out, we can't get you no one. So they could chuck you in there with King Kong. That's how I feel. And it's like sometimes you just think, well, a fight, let's just get the fight booked.
This is so much better than having to wait another 6, 8, 12 weeks.
That would have been...
You know, and it adds, it's in Wales. Done. It's in front of a... You know, he's going to be the hometown fighter in front of an hometown crowd. And it's a big fight. Like,
it's a big fight, yeah.
It's probably in my opinion, it's biased, I know, but it's the biggest fight on the card.
Yeah.
You know, no disrespect to the guys in the main event. I know Sam Creasy's a very good fighter, but I don't really know the guy he's fighting. No doubt he's a good fighter, but in terms of in Wales, they're not really two massive names. It's the biggest fight on the card. What are they calling it yesterday on the Energize show? The people's main event.
Yeah. I always get that. Every fight's a people's main event now. But
I would imagine this would have bumped the numbers up fairish. Like,
yeah.
And if this would have had more time, I don't think you would have needed that title fight on there to sell it. Like,
no, definitely.
No, I mean, well, when it first got out, I was thinking like people were asking me am I the main event. I didn't really think much into it now, but I'm the co-main event for this now. I don't know if I was meant to say that.
I think it's on their website anyway.
Yeah, we're breaking the news now. We leaked the fight. We leaked the fight 2 weeks ago, didn't I? I nearly leaked this fight. I was like, the Oman's fight been announced. I'm going to announce it.
Yeah.
But
very close to saying a name, weren't you?
But it wasn't Matt Bono. It was the Brazilian guy. And I was like, sorry, Gray, I'm fucking announcing it.
Fucking hell.
I'm going to bump the views up.
I'm trying to be as not respectful kind of thing. I'm not trying to, but fucking hell, look, it's a cage fight. it's literally like, as I don't need to try and explain to Tank, it's literally like if he walked in the gym on Monday, right? This is the type Tank's probably the same. This is the type of person I am. Say it's 4:45. Well, it won't be 4:45 if I was there. I'd be turning up at 5:02.
Fucking 5:02, wrapping his hands in the warm up.
Right, but say we get there now, or if I turn up and there's a boy from another gym there at the spa, I'd be like fucking licking my lips. I'd be like, there we are now. Something, a bit of fresh meat. I'd be happy for it to say, all right, we're gonna be sparring. You spar a boy from another gym, they're just, within 30 seconds, if they're there to take the piss or not, and then you're basically having a fight. So if he walked in the fucking gym, I'd be like, Matt Bonner, is it? Fucking coming down here, kind of thing. That's and he's coming. He may as well be coming to the gym. He's coming 10 minutes away.
I know.
So
it's a crazy fight for the area, isn't it? At this stage as well.
Yeah, literally. Fuck it. Literally.
Look, and at the end of the day, you don't need to make things bigger than what they are. I think that's a lot of the problem. A lot of people had. You've had it in the past.
Yeah, I've had that. I've suffered with that really big time.
You got to understand sometimes. It's just a fight. Don't get me wrong. It's not just a fight, and it's not just a spar because the result counts. Yeah. There's no protective gear. You can't get knocked out. You can't get choked out, as I fucking know. Yeah. But at the same time, you do it every day, and you know, I always say to people, when we all want to win, right? Like the thought of losing doesn't even come into my head before a fight. But win, lose or draw, life will go on. Yeah. In a week's time, it's going to be last week's news. You will have another fight. You know, still have your missus, still have your family. Same with him. Exactly the same with your opponent. Apart from a notch on your win or a notch on your loss on your record, life will go on. But at the same time, it's easy to say that because we are all fighters, we're all competitors, and we don't want to none of us go in there with the intention to lose. No. Obviously, I know because I've seen it in the gym, but talk a bit about your training camp. How long kind of notice you? Because it wasn't like a massive. No, they kind of announced this. Was it 6-8 weeks ago?
They announced it at the last academy card.
Yeah, so what was that? 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks.
Yeah,
so obviously we haven't had a massively long camp, but
no. They don't really, because I train all year round, right? And I don't let my weight, and not that I don't let it. My weight just doesn't really go up in a drastic way. Like a good 6-8 weeks is like ample, is pretty ideal for me. So it was a good training camp, I just done a training camp as well for that Colchester fight. So I was happy to take.
Talk about our Colchester fight as well. Yeah. Obviously coming off a loss.
Forgot about that. Yeah.
Coming off a loss to the Latvian Express in your previous fight in December. Bit of an up and down for you last couple of years because obviously you picked up the loss to Figlak. Then you had like the highlight reel knockout. You was like back up there. Couldn't wait to see you fight again. Yeah. Then kind of a similar fight to this in a way with Flemmers, because a win against Flemmers would have put you in a I hope I'm saying his name right, Dave.
Fucking Latvian Express.
Would have put you in the mix, like you said. Yeah. Didn't go your way. Then last fight kind of like was a tough one in a way because he was a 3-0 guy. Knew fuck all about him. Couldn't find no videos.
I thought that was a bit of a stitch up. I did. I thought when they come to me with that fight, I was like. Shaky said, he sent me the Tapology link. He said, he doesn't do, he probably same with you. I keep fucking saying that. I'm going to stop saying that. Right, but he doesn't say, how about this? He says, you're matched up with this guy. Here's the link. So I was like, I matched up with him. All right. That's, There
was no yes or no.
Yeah.
No easy paper around it.
Yeah, but I think he appreciates that because obviously fucking, I wouldn't turn it down.
No, and the reality is, right, at Cagewarriors level, like you obviously got ambitions of being in UFC or whatever, moving on to the next level. That's the ultimate goal. You gotta be able to beat whoever they put in front of you. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like whether it's a stitch up or the guy was, on paper the guy's 3-0. So whether you've had 100 Thai fights or he's a 2nd degree black belt. Yeah. If he's 3-0 and you've had 6 fights, wherever you kind of haven't got a choice. I've been there myself. It's like. When I fought, don't want to keep like sounding like I'm harping on about myself, but when I fought Ludwig in September, obviously that fight was offered to me on short notice, and again it wasn't like we've got this guy. It's like you're fighting this guy. So you like click on the link. I thought, right, he's off the Ultimate Fighter, and it's like 9-1. Then you start diving into him a bit, and it's like, right, well, he just had fight of the season. He's a national wrestling champion.
You're like, for fuck's
he's had
sake.
100 odd amateur fights, but it's like, what can you do? And,
Yeah.
you know, I gotta be ready to beat anyone. It's the same.
Yeah.
It was the same there, but so I interrupted a bit there. But go into that fight a little bit.
Yeah,
So obviously that was a big win.
So obviously that Lucas Unas, I was looking at it, I thought, not like I think, I just thought fucking yes. And then I looked into him, I thought, watched a couple of times, I thought, fucking hell. And then he was like fighting in these arenas in, you know, the fucking back arse of everywhere. And I didn't really, I was thinking, right. So he's this big kickboxing guy who's just making the switch. And then I seen Cagewarriors have just announced him as this new signing. So I thought, because they think I've just lost a cup. I've lost a couple, and I'm the fucking gatekeeper now. That's what
Building the motherfucker.
I thought. I was like, you taking the piss. So then, obviously the fight. That's the best performance I've because I went in there present, and I knew what I was doing in there. We spoke about it, didn't we, Tank? It was like, that's like my best performance. Yeah. Just the from the changing room to walking out, I know I can just replicate that now.
Did you do anything different to get yourself like in that mindset for that?
Slow down. That's what
slowed it down.
Didn't try to fucking kill the kid in the first minute.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Sometimes he's had
victim of my own success.
Yeah, not to speak for him, but he's had that many kind of like, or a lot of his wins have been first round or whatever. You kind of fall in love with that then, and I've been there myself. You kind of go out and think, right, I'll just put him away in the first round.
Yeah, it's
and
not
then all
so
of a
much.
sudden the second round comes.
Yeah,
I'm like, what? Fucking hell, I'm still in you.
Yeah.
So and he can do 3 rounds standing on his head.
Yeah.
He does fucking 6 rounds in the gym every day.
Yeah.
But when your adrenaline's going and you've got them demons in your head saying, fuck, what are we still doing you?
That's fucking it.
But he just slowed him, not to speak for him, but he'll tell you himself, he slowed down a little bit. And we kind of like spoke about it when he lost to the Latvian Express.
Yeah.
He rang me the next day and was kind of like, what do you think went wrong? And I was like, well, you just tried to kill him from the off. You know, whereas the fight before, he had the big first round knockout, but he didn't force nothing. It was like the knockout come because he was feinting and setting stuff up. And whereas this fight, the guy was expecting that anyway because of the last knockout. Yeah. But he came out and was just throwing haymakers from the start. Before you know it, then you're in a bad spot. You nearly got guillotined then in the last.
I just think I was laying there
30 seconds of the round.
Just.
But yeah, in my opinion, for what it counts, he slowed it down and
I needed that.
And was a little bit more and although he still had the first round win, it came from being patient. You know, didn't rush on the feet. The guy was a very good kickboxer. You could see that even in the little exchange.
And I was like, oh,
picked his time when the time was right, took the takedown and took the submission, and probably take a lot more from that. Although the KO2 fights ago was so much more like, wow, what
I just took nothing from that, I gotta say.
You'll take so much more from a win like that than you will an highlight reel finish in the one before.
I'll try what it's like to be in my head at that time, right? So I've had that Figlak loss, which was like a fucking, we spoke about that, didn't we?
You come on the podcast.
That was just a fucking disaster. And I just couldn't, I was like, right, okay, I've just lost there kind of thing. Then all that fucking doctor bollocks come out. We're not talking about that. But then obviously I've had a year off there, gone up a weight class. So you can't like compare the two. I was like, right, this is like a fresh start. So I was like, this is just a complete fresh start. And then the McManus fight, right? I was in there, I was fired up, and then I was fucking in this exchange, and then I was like, whoosh, it was like a whirlwind, and then boom, 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 I've knocked him out. Didn't even realize how I did it at the time. And then come to in the changing room, I had Paddy of all people was like, oh, look at that, look at this lad, this fucking knock's what showing me on the thing. And then I come from that fight, right? I was happy I've just got back. A week went by, and I was like, I was actually thinking like, that I can't even fucking remember what happened there. I still feel like it was like an out of body experience, that fight completely.
Pure emotion was it?
I was emotional. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie about that. It was a fucking. But anyway, so I just had a year off after my first loss. I've just gone in there with McManus for 2 minutes. I've still had a year off. I was like still out of this. So in this Flaminas fight, I felt good. Telling me to be patient. Then I clipped him, and his eyes started fucking going everywhere, and he was making all these noises. So I was like, it's like it just kicked in. I was like, right, I've got to just fucking blast him out of it now. And then when I didn't blast him out of there, and I was sat on the stool, I was like, it's not like I didn't know what to do. I was like, fuck, it's been so long since I've been like, the last time I went to the second round before, oh no, the Figlat one, obviously, but that was but it was just a fucking. I wasn't panicked. I was gassed. The guillotine completely fried me. I couldn't. The room was spinning, and yeah, my instincts were just to like try and blast him out of there, and obviously coming from that, I slowed it down. I put the tank locks. Tank's very patient with it. I got a boxing coach, Alex Hughes. He's just like forced me to slow things down a lot more, and I had to just put my faith in the preparation for the Hercus fight and hope that I grew, and I did, thank God.
That's a big thing as well, to go off topic a little bit, is not enough MMA fighters look for a good boxing coach. You can learn so much from a good boxing coach. You can learn so much from a good Thai coach, good kick, but kind of people fall in love with the idea that it's MMA, so because you can knee, elbow and kick, you should be looking for a Thai coach, but a good boxing coach with good fundamentals. Because you watch a boxer over, say, like a 10 or 12 round fight, they'll spend 2-3 rounds at the beginning working each other out. Then they might have a mad 3 rounds, but then they'll take 1 or 2 rounds in the middle to slow it down and pick their opening. And a good level although there's a lot of things you can't take from boxing into MMA, there's a lot of things you can take from boxing into MMA. And like you said, a good coach. Alex is ex-pro, ex-British and Welsh amateur champion. God knows how many fucking times. I think he's got like 10 Welsh vests. He was like 10-0 as a pro. Yeah. Only reason he's not fighting himself is because he picked up an eye injury. And I know Alex because I train with, obviously, Gary Lockett, who was Alex's coach and manager. And Gary loves Alex. And a good level coach and a good level fighter will slow you down. And like, Alex works with a couple of the boys now from the gym. Gary works with a couple of the boys, and they'll spend the first like 6 months just slowing them down. Yeah. Not being so frantic and kind of using your range and using your jab and stuff. And it's weird because he obviously won the fight by submission and you didn't really get to see his boxing.
But it come from the boxing. But that's the weird thing.
The discipline of it.
If there is young fighters out there, don't get yourself a pad man. Get yourself a good boxing coach and get one that's been there and done it. You know, has got a fighting experience. Because I always look at Gary, and same if you can look at Alex the same. I look at Gary and I think, well, I don't think because I knew before I even started training. But he can show me anything, and there's been no reason for me to go, yeah, but does that work? Because not only has he fought at the highest level, so he's fought for world titles, he's won British titles, European titles, and done it at the highest level, but he's also coached it at the highest level. He's coached British champions, world champions, European champions. So get yourself, like I always say, get yourself coaches who you can put a bit of faith in.
100%.
I know for a fact, whatever my corner are telling me in the corner or before the fight, whether we look back and think, you know, should we have done it, shouldn't we have done it, or it did work, it didn't work, I've got 100% faith and I'll follow the instruction because I know they're saying it because they genuinely believe that's what the right thing to do. Now, how can you have the same trust like that in someone that hasn't necessarily been there and done it themselves, or at the very least hasn't coached someone to do it themselves? So any young fighters watching, get yourself if you're going to go off and do a bit of boxing, a bit of Thai or a bit of jiu-jitsu, a bit of wrestling, get yourself a coach who's done it in MMA or has at least pass the experience on to a guy who's laid the... Because even like Carl Parker, Carl's never had an MMA fight, but you can look at Carl's resume.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah.
You know, or a lot of 95% of my wrestling has come from Carl. You look at Brett now, Brett's wrestling is expanded a lot more because of Carl.
Yeah.
Josh. You look at all the boys, like, so there's Carl's CV. Do you know what I mean? There's my old man's CV.
Yeah.
Look at Gary and Alex, there's their CV. So get yourself someone you can put a bit of faith in, you know, and not someone that you're ever going to have to second guess.
Well, it is like obviously like a lone sport, but in a way, you have to have that team behind you.
Yeah, you couldn't do it without a team.
You don't look at all the best in the world like GSP and whatever. These aren't there by accident, are they? They haven't done it all by themselves. If you didn't have like Faraz or whatever,
GSP was the first one to do it.
Yeah,
you know, GSP had Faraz as MMA coach, but he went and worked with Freddie Roach. He went and I don't know the guy's name. Black guy is Thai. He's a little guy, but he's like an elite level Thai coach. Always calling the GSP. Went and worked with him. Went and done his grappling with John Dana. He would go to like the Canadian national wrestling team and do his wrestling there because he knows that these guys have got the experience and got the credentials, and that if he's got a question, they're gonna have the answer for it because they've seen it a million times before or they've done it themselves. So that would be my pick. Anyway, we went off on a bit of a tangent here, but
no, it's a good one.
Without before we get to some of the questions, because you got a couple of questions off people. Without obviously diving into the game plan too much.
Oh yeah, I got a fucking fight Saturday.
How do you see? You know, how do you see it playing out? Is there any specific game plan? Any specific area you want to keep? Again, don't give your fucking game plan away. You never know who's watching. But
yeah,
how do you see it going, or what do you think is the route to victory?
Oh, by any means necessary. I think it's this is going to be an hard fight, but it's not going to be. I'm not fighting fucking King Kong. I'm fighting another guy with a Cagewarriors contract. I don't know. You know the crack, Tank, with this, like with the game plans, and I just don't want to. I don't want to say. I don't want to. I don't know. You'll have to, yeah.
In my opinion,
I'm gonna fucking beat him.
Yeah.
Look, put it this way: 2,000,000%, I'm gonna beat him.
I've always
over my dead body will he beat me? Genuinely.
That's the main. As long as like.
There it is.
Sometimes you can rely too much on a game plan.
I'm not.
You can overcomplicate things. I've had my best fights where I've kind of just gone out there and.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. You have your little pointers.
Oh look, I'm gonna have Carl in the corner. I'm gonna have Shaky in the corner. I think Brett will be in the corner as well. Where I'm just gonna be listening, and I've got my not that this is a game plan, but I've had my defeats in the kit. I know I know. It's like I've yinged too far in one direction, then I've yanged too far in another. Now I can take them lessons that I've had and just fucking go through this guy now.
Sometimes you gotta just,
and I'm putting trust in that as well, because it's not like when I never lost, and God knows what it was like for you because you went fucking 16-0, right? But when I never lost, I think 10 fight between I was like 11 fights undefeated between amateur and pro at the time, and I was like, the anxiety was getting worse. I was just like, I've never done this. What if I do this? Do I broke what's not fixed? I was like doing this.
Yeah.
I always had that thing in my head, and I was like, it went to like my diet. I was like, because I got into this weird fucking habit where I was almost getting superstitious with myself and everything I was doing, and it just kind of spiraled out in the end, obviously. Fucking hell. But now I've had a couple of losses. It's like it's not that it's just taking the pressure off. It's just taking the pressure off my head and how I'm going to approach these fights. I know the crack now. I know if I do this, that's going to happen. I know if I go throwing haymakers, that's a bad idea. But at least I've done it now. I've tried it now. If I go and
You were trying to learn the lessons before they were taught to you in a way.
Yeah, but it's not like I was trying to fuck it.
It's the fear of the unknown.
Yeah. So I was like, it just made my now I'm just relaxed with it. I've had a fucking I've lost. It's not that bad. I've come through the other side of it and bounced back twice, and I'm back here with a big fight. Yeah. It fell on my lap. I'm lucky with it. It kind of eliminates my losses in the sense of where it's put me for this fight and where. Because if I did never lost, I'll probably be fighting someone like him now around this time.
Someone like Marshman, for example. There's your best. Look at Marshman, right? I think Marshman, when he signed the UFC, I got a feeling his record was something like 16-5 or like 20-5. So he picked up 5 losses before he even got to the highest stage. So
I take no shame in him.
No, and it's not boxing, this sport. 5 losses in boxing. If you've lost 5 times in boxing before you've got the world title, 99% of fighters you're not going to get it because that's how the sport works. They pad their records, and you can't really pick up a loss at boxing until you're at world level. If you pick up a loss at world level, you can kind of get away with it a little bit.
Which is fucking mad,
which is wild. But
crazy,
like someone like Marshman, like I remember Marshman losing his, like he was the Bama champ and whatever, and he signed for Cagewarriors, and he was this big buzz like fucking Jack Marshman have signed for Cagewarriors, and then his first fight he lost in the first round. I think it was by TKO, and we were all kind of like, what the fuck is going on? But then he kind of showed that it doesn't matter, because he then went on to win 5 in a row. Like his next fight, he's like, I don't give a fuck attitude. Jumped straight back in there with Bowler. I don't know how to say his second name. Ex-UFC guy, ex-Ultimate Fighter guy. Beat him in the first round. And he notched up like 5-6 wins, won the belt. The next thing you know, he's the first Welsh guy in the UFC. Yeah. So it just goes to show, like, in this sport, you only need a solid 18 months, 2 years, and if you to put yourself in a position where, fucking hell, the past is almost forgotten about. Like, no one, you don't look at Marshman's record now and talk about his losses before he got the UFC. You look at him in the UFC and think, fuck me, remember he fought Thiago Santos, who's just fucking nearly beat John Jones. Remember he fought John Phillips, probably the biggest Welsh fight
ever,
Welsh v Welsh fight of all time. Then his debut where he knocked out fucking, like he was a 10-1 underdog, knocked out some fucking big giant Swedish guy. That's what you talk about. You don't talk about him losing in Cagewarriors or picking up a loss in Bama. It's, in this sport, whether it be for good or for bad, people have got short memories. Yeah. You can lose a fight and everyone will forget about all the fights you've won, or you can go on a good win streak and they'll forget about your losses.
Like Diaz or Masvidal. But I was just about to say that, if you could take an hiding, right, and come through the other side, that's what I feel like. That for me early on, it's too early for me to say, but like I had to fucking go through it twice. If you could take an hiding and keep your fucking bit, it's hard, keep yourself together and keep that faith and that belief and that confidence and fucking, stand tall. If you could, as soon as you fucking get that, then who gives a fuck if you lose a fight? Like Marshman, he's a big role model for all of us, right? He might have just lost a fight, but who cares? Yeah. Who gives a fuck? He's been fucking slinging his fists, arms and legs, and fighting to the death. And if you don't come off the winner, who is anybody to turn their nose up at you? There's no fucking shame in it. Have an eye, didn't take it like a man, be proud and move on. Done.
I think that's what I mean. I think that's great what you said there, but I think that's life as well, isn't it? Like you don't know who you are until things start going tits up. Exactly. Like,
oh fucking hell, no.
And listen, for someone like Marshman, not to keep fucking, because we are going to get him on eventually, so not like trying to sound like we're sucking up to Marshman, but when you've spent 18 months in Afghanistan fighting on the front line for the country, do you think he gives a fuck about losing a fight?
No.
Does
he care about what anybody thinks? He spent 18
months in an environment where he could have lost his life. Boom, at any moment he's lost friends. People who he come up through the ranks with. He's probably seen things that we can't. Like, I was fucking cleaning cars at 18. He's on the front line in a war zone. He's seen things that I can't even imagine. That none of us in this room can even imagine. So losing in the grander scheme of things, not saying that he wasn't devastated to lose those fights. I bet he felt just how I felt when I lost and just how he felt. But when he looks at it in the grander scheme of things, life has thrown a lot worse at him than losing a fight.
He was telling me when he came on my podcast that they were out like on patrol or whatever, and they were sleeping in this one building, and he was in a bed with a week before, like the wall behind him was blown up. Like, that's just a crazy thing. Imagine how can you sleep with that.
I remember him telling me one story. I don't know if it was when he was out there or if it was a para basically, and he said in like the base in Afghan is obviously like a big 10-foot wall, and some fucking lunatic from the Taliban had obviously lobbed the grenade over the wall, and this fucking nut job from the para has like run, picked the grenade up, obviously he's too and just fucking lobbed it straight back over the wall. And I'm thinking, he's seeing the shit at 18, 19. It just puts things
it all makes sense now.
Yeah, you can see why he's a fucking loose cannon, the armour. We will get him on, but we're gonna have to do like a special episode like on a Saturday night or something where we can get a few drinks into him and let him.
That might be Patreon only. I don't think YouTube will let us.
Marshman, if you're listening, that's gonna be a Patreon episode. We'll get the armour tanked up. Tanked up.
Hey, that's it. That's
It'll be
it.
the hammer, innit? We'll have to do that more often.
Should do a weekly special where you get tanked up on the Tankdup.
Jack will never fight again, will he?
Well, if we get enough Patreon members, I'm happy to do it. But yeah, Joe, do you want to go to the questions?
Yeah, definitely.
I know you had a message.
I do have
so Oban's got a special message off the legend.
Yeah, should we do we need to even explain who he is at this point?
Everyone knows Tommy Egan by this point. If you're a regular listener of Tankdup, and a regular on my Instagram, you know who Big Tommy Egan is.
So, you know, if I just got a mention in the story, I chucked a little video up of me on the pads. Just he's a legend, right? He's gone for some knee surgeries, you know. He's fucking, his head's a bit fucking fried as it would be, right? Obviously, fucking hell. I got this fight in 10 days. Not much to say. Not much to be said. Like, my friends are just smart. The boys in the gym, we obviously have a bit more of a sensible conversation about it. You know, we know we can fucking beat him, kind of thing. But you get the message of encouragement. The messages of encouragement you get are basically just like, fucking smash him, you know. Whatever, right? And Tommy Egan, right? In Tommy Egan,
does he know you're reading this message?
Yeah, I asked him, because I asked him, I said, can I read this message on the podcast tomorrow, or is that shady? I'm not disrespecting you, bro. But ready?
This is your first test of slowing it down.
Yeah, here we go.
I just don't want to... Bro, I won't bug you on fight week, but you look incredible. Put your cock on the table and show these cunts who the real motherfucking gangster is. Fuck this guy, bro. Beat him and go get that strap. Enough fucking around, G. I'll be with you in spirit. You don't need fight advice from me, bro, but I support you 100%. What a fucking guy. But anyway, put your cock on the table. He said something
just
else.
Just a disclaimer, Oban won't be putting nothing on the table.
No, put so your cock on the table. Right, and then he said, I got back, and he said, you know, he said, like, you ready to kill or what? This motherfucker's trying to take your career, bro. You better hurt this motherfucker. You know you can do it. You know you can, just do it. It's like, I look at, like, you know, I've never even met the guy you have, and I'm just like, I read some of the stuff he says to me sometimes, and I'm just like, fucking right. I will, you know, I'm not actually going to put my cock on the table.
But the other stuff.
But, you know, fucking, yeah. Fucking
pump you up, like.
Yeah, you know.
And this
shout out Tommy.
Yeah, shout out Tommy.
Right.
It's fucking mad because we won't go off on too much of a tangent here, but like, and he will probably agree with me. Like, the support I have off Tommy and some of his friends and some of the people online who I've met Tommy now, obviously, but who I've never met in person. I get more support off, you know, better support off that than you know, people's. Not like, obviously I got a very loyal fan base in Wales, but there's probably people in Wales that probably don't want to see us do well and want to see us lose.
100%.
And, you know, one like your post and one share your post and you know, because they're not necessarily getting it. Whereas you've got people like that who he's never met. I've met Tommy once, obviously, but genuinely wanting to do well, and that's the crazy thing about this sport and social media. For all its faults, you know, social media can be very toxic and a bad place, but you meet people like that.
Yeah.
You get the anomalies where you got people like Tommy and Brock and all the other boys that support us. And
when you actually think about it,
that make it worth going on, in my opinion.
Yeah, like when you actually think about it, it's like, and this, like, you go like on Instagram, right? You got like requests, and you look at it, and like, I don't know, not to be rude, right? But you just don't ever read them. You're just like, I don't know who that is, kind of thing, or but then if you actually and like initially save like some strange online message you something nice, whatever, it's like it could be just like fanboying or whatever. But I don't know, especially since that, like the Jacksaw Army chat and everything, like, you kind of sit there. I've just kind of sat there and thought, like, these people who I've never even met before are messaging me more than like people I actually know, or
it's crazy.
They're putting more and most time, and I'm actually thinking like, well, why am like, you know, I'm just replying like fuck to them all then, because it's like, you actually got to be grateful of it. Like, even if you don't know him, never met him, you just find him in your request, you've never, but it's just somebody who's like, just like me or you or anybody else sitting there, just going out of his way or her way to message you a really nice comment of encouragement. It's like, why would you not appreciate that? That's what it is for me anyway.
It was exactly the same, mate. When I first started that podcast, like a couple of local people got on board and were like friendly about it. But then after a while, it was just literally people I didn't know who were like the main supporters. But I think what it is like people who are so close to you, whether they like it or not, look at you, and I think there's like an air of jealousy, and there's like that thing of he's doing something that I could do that, and they try to convince themselves that maybe they can do what you're doing, and they're not, and they're jealous. And I think that's purely what it is. I know it's sad to say, but I think a lot.
But that's
of people,
baffling to me, because for this fucking hell, for example, if I seen Joe doing a podcast, and before this I'd never done a podcast. Not to say this is what inspired, but for example, say I see you doing a podcast, and I think, fucking hell, I would never think in my head, fucking hell, I could fucking do that. That's easy. I may think, do you know what? I think I could be alright at that. Maybe I'll fucking look into doing a podcast. But I would never sit there and think, it's fucking shit. Like, I could do that, but he's useless. Like,
that's why you are where you are.
You've got to have a real negative mindset to think like that. Like, it's the same with like watching fights. Don't me wrong, we all have our opinions on certain fighters and how they fight. But at the same time, there's still always going to be, for me anyway, that level of respect. It's like, well, no, he is in there doing it. Because for every guy that's in there doing it, there's 1,000 not in there doing it.
Yeah.
And it's the 1,000 not in there doing it that think like that, he's fucking shit. You know?
Like, I guess...
I had a couple of messages after my last fight, and not even worth mentioning, because for the four...
spiteful ones?
For the 4 spiteful messages I had, I probably had 1,000, and it's not an exaggeration, I probably had 1,000... well wishes who were devastated, but
I was crying. I never told you that. I was in work, right, watching that fight. I was crying.
A couple of people have said, I watched it.
I was there like that, right? I was like, not that I'm fucking gonna cry now, right? But I was watching it, and I seen it fucking up. I just had this gut feeling when I was like, oh no, it'd be alright, and every time you're like, oh fucking hell. And then when it started to unfold, I was just like, nah. And then my missus was there as well. And I literally, and people coming in the staff room, and I was crying like a fucking baby, honest to God.
But again, it's like, for every one of those, so I think I had about 3 or fucking 4 nonsense comments or messages.
Yeah.
Go on their page. None of them got a profile picture. None of them got any followers. None of them got any posts. They're all nobodies who've done nothing with their life. Then you've got people who've got a name for themselves in the sport, or people who I know who've known me all their life from Wales and Britain, who are living successful lives now, who are messing. They wishing you nothing but well. Like, look, we're still proud of you. So you've got to have a real, like, you've got to live, in my opinion, not that I'm trying to gunslay all the fucking negative people out there, but I am in a way. But it's like, you've got to have a real, your life must be at the shite.
That's what it is, mate.
You must be a fucking...
There's certain fighters, right, who I don't like. I don't like their personality.
No.
Don't like how they fight. But when they lose, I would never, ever, ever... And not just because I'm in the sport, it wouldn't be in me to do it anyway. To go out of my way to message them and say, you're shit. I'm like, you deserve that.
It's not even like I watch a fight. Like I've watched the boys who beat me, right? I want them to... There's not I feel like I'd be jealous and sad to be like, I hope he loses. Like, I hope I genuinely, I'm like, I check it and I'm like, he won. Fair play. Not that it looks better on me, but I try my best, like a conscious effort, to not have that jealous fucking pathetic dickhead mindset.
And whether you did have, like, say you did have that, say there was boys who you watched, fuck me, I hope he loses. You'd never go out your way to mess him up.
Oh, exactly.
I'm glad you lost it.
Or put some silly tweet up.
Because the reality of it is, you don't live a sad enough life to do that. So that's my
Jake Paul said something very good. And he's a bit of a fucking nonce, isn't he? But he did say something very good. Right. But in New York, right, it's like everybody's... what did he say? Oh, fucking, here we go. The skyscrapers. Something about the size skyscrapers. And everybody you can go as high as you want without bothering anybody else, kind of thing. So like, don't be... You get it? Like, he said... I can't remember... He said a quote about, like, in New York, like, you don't worry about other people's skyscrapers, just kind of focus on your own kind of thing.
Yeah.
You go straight up. You're not like bothering each other. So like, there's room for everyone to grow, kind of thing. So like, if a skyscraper was there and you're down there, like, there's nothing stopping you fucking going up there, kind of thing. So there's like,
no one in your way if you
you got to just do everything. Jealousy or whatever, it might be a natural human fucking thing, but you got to just harbour it.
There's no successful person messaging another person on Twitter or Instagram.
No.
Wishing on their downfall and glad to see that they're unsuccessful. There's only people who are unhappy with this. You've got to be unhappy, in my opinion, you've got to be unhappy with yourself and your own life to want to put that negativity out there.
You'd be relieved by someone else's downfall.
Yeah, to see someone else have a downfall and think, right, I'm going to let him know I'm happy about that. You got to have a shit life. So like that's enough on the fucking internet muppets.
Okay, yeah.
Let's get Oban's questions going because we're gonna end up on a fucking tangent.
We are going to get fucking fired up otherwise, 2
hours, I'm going to start messaging people back on Instagram.
Yeah.
What drives Oban to work so hard in training, and where does your motivation come from?
Fuck it, I don't even know.
Is there a thought you go to like in your head?
Me.
If you're like feeling like I can't be asked, is there something that brings it out of you?
But you got to make the most of this potential. Don't fucking stop now. You've already missed enough holidays and parties and got fucking cauliflower ears and a wonky nose. You can't. Don't make the most of this. But I'm not so on about yes, man. But like people like Tank, Shaky Carl, Alex, like people I trust and listen to and tell me I can fucking go wherever I want with this sport to the top. So why am I going to waste that kind of thing? That's kind of my... Initially, I was quite an emotional guy, fired up, doing it for you know, the fucking like the tragedy in life kind of thing. It was a good distraction, you know. It was not so much as it is now. You know, I'm a 24-year-old man now. I can accept, but I really did for a big majority of my life struggle with how things went for me at the start, and it was a good distractor. It always was. It still is now, as I said. But now it's like I'm at the business end of it now. I'm either gonna bottle this or I'm gonna grab it with both hands. That
just
gets me out of bed.
Like my little 20 pence on what you're saying. It is a good distraction because
I
find it doesn't necessarily like all the worry, whether it's money or bills or fucking hell, I don't know, family or friends that you're having troubles with. For that hour and a half you're in the gym training, you just forget about it.
It doesn't exist.
You're just thinking about how hard you're training and getting through the session and taking on board. Whereas I don't think you've got that in everyday life. Like you know, Joe, you'll probably know you work a full-time job. It's like you can't, even when you're at your job, you don't necessarily always switch off. For that 8 hours a day, you're probably still thinking about, you know, when we're doing the podcast and got to sort the missus, the baby, the fucking dog, the house.
Yeah.
Whereas I generally think like when you're on the mat, not necessarily when you're running and stuff because you can be in your own head, but when you're on the mat sparring or rolling or even just working technique, you're just focused on that. And it kind of like Forrest Griffin said it years ago, and he said the reason he loves fighting is because all the worries of the world are gone for 15 or 25 minutes. All you're concerned about is getting through that fight, trying to win and trying not to get knocked out.
In the same way like a drug.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do you any harm.
That's the only worry of it. So like you said, it is I don't know if distraction is the right word. It is for me, but it's a good, like, it just relieves you of all your struggles, even if it's only for like 90 minutes a day.
And that goes for anyone. That goes for anyone.
I think any sport almost, because I found that when I play five-a-side football, tennis, whatever it is, your phone's on the side, you're not thinking about your life. You're just thinking about how I'm going to win or fucking I'm blowing out my ass.
But you know, because fighting is so hard and exhausting, not to shit on any other sport, right? But it isn't being biased. It's obvious it's hard. It's a terribly hard sport, right? But you get, if things are getting you down and you've got like a bad image of yourself, like a lower self-esteem at the time, you might be thinking, what the fuck am I doing with my life? But if you can get through an hour of hard training, you are genuinely proud of yourself. You're thinking, this is fucking hard, and I am doing it.
I always used to say it with Matthew Creel from Tidy But Bomber, and me and him used to talk about it all the time. You'll never ever regret training. You might not want to go before it. You may have periods during the session where you get on and you think, fuck me.
Yeah, fuck
I don't want to be here today. But when that session finishes and you get in that shower and you get in the car on the way home, I guarantee whether it's a run, whether it's MMA, whether it's football, rugby, you will always feel better for doing the session. No matter how you feel about the session, it could be the worst session in your life, but you will always feel better in yourself mentally and physically after training. There's no feeling like it, I don't think. When you get in that car after training to drive home, you feel like whether you've achieved nothing. The fact that you've just done the session, you think, I've done something there. You don't get that same feeling sat on your fucking phone for an hour in the house.
At some point, that's the look for. I remember I've left my girlfriend in the house because I said I'm not fit and I've got to go training to feel myself, kind of thing. That's like to the point where probably that's a bit unhealthy, but that's how good it does for me. Like
I think that's healthy, mate.
I think fucking brand new, man. I'm not just gonna sit there cracking up. Like I just struggle with it. I'm just like fucking hell. Gotta do something.
When I have a week off after the fight, my missus can't wait for me to go back to the gym.
Oh fuck, right, yeah.
She said to me, "Will you fucking sit down or stay still?" And then by like the Wednesday, she's like, "Oh, just go training. Go and burn some energy off." She's like, "You need to go and do something."
She'll blag it as well. She'll be like, "Oh, are you going training again?" But I bet she fucking loves it.
Loves the break.
But she's like,
Come on, next question.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. What was your favourite and your least favourite fight to date?
Least favourite, straight away, GSP versus Nick Diaz. My favourite fight. Fuck for me.
Well, we'll go.
Let's do both.
Let's do both. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, because I'll tell you why about that. Fucking all our years of building up, and then GSP just lies on him for fucking 5 rounds. Like GSP's a good, but like fuck off, innit? Just done my head in.
See the scrap.
I was like 15. I was like, you've got to be kidding me, like. But yeah. All right, for me, worst fighting. My least favourite fight. I really don't have one. Because out of my losses, I can't say they're my favourite fight, least favourite fights, because here he fucking is.
Camera's right there. Just
come on, H, squeeze in.
Come in.
Here
But
he fucking
just
is.
what's the
Fucking H, spoiling the podcast again.
what's happening, mate?
Sit yourself
We're
down,
another special
fella.
guest.
Fucking hell, now we're just getting started.
My least favourite fight to watch is probably, again, no surprise, it's a Nate Diaz fight, is Nate Diaz and Masvidal. Because I really wanted Nate to win. He had a fucking hammering for 3 rounds.
He did.
But as we all know, the 4th and the 5th,
The party was getting started.
that's when he gets the party started.
Yeah.
So for that to be stripped away because of a cut, and don't get me wrong, it wasn't just the average cut, it was a fucking gash. But Masvidal was getting a little bit tired.
Yeah.
And if I don't get a 4th and a 5th round in a Nate Diaz fight, then I feel like I've been undersold and I feel like I've been robbed of something. So that's my least favourite. And obviously my least favourite personal fight. The obvious answer would be the last one.
Yeah.
But
I bet it's not, though.
it's not.
I bet you're not sitting there like, fuck that fight, because I bet it's not.
This sums up fighting. My least favourite, I fought in Newport Centre, and it was the first ever HMC, it was the first ever Cagewarriors Academy show. First one ever. And Aaron Khalid was main event. I was 3-0 and I was co-main. And they put me in against some juiced up Greek guy.
Alexandros Gemelatos.
There we go.
Fucking
I'm glad
hell.
you know his name, because I didn't. And he missed weight. He was juiced to the fucking gills. So I got in there and I just thought I'm just gonna blitz through this guy now in a round. Which I did end up happening, right? I did end up standing rear naked, choking him, but
I fought on that card.
it was my... Did you?
Yeah.
But it was my worst performance to date. Like, I've fucking done the world's shittest takedown. Don't think I
Right.
threw a single punch to set it up. He spun me on the cage, opened me up with an elbow. Then I went for another dog shit takedown, got fucking judo throwed. Luckily, I managed to, like, scramble out the back door.
I remember that, yeah.
And I come away from there and I was thinking... Like, everyone was like, it's fucking first round finish. What's the matter with you? But, like, in my head, I'm thinking... I'm 100 times better than that.
Yeah.
Like for me, being a professional, I looked at that and think that was terrible. You wouldn't look at that performance, I wouldn't have think, oh, he's got potential. But then it's funny what it does show, because then that put me 4-0, and in my next fight, they put me in against Common Day, who was 9-2, 6-fight KO streak, and everyone thought I was going to get blitzed out there, and I ended up putting on my best performance at the time to date. Yeah, completely battered him, and everyone was kind of like, "What the fuck have gone on here?" You know, like everyone. There was people like Common at the time had beat people like Ricky Fortuna, Marley Swindles, who at the time with like the 2 top Welsh
Sounds
featherweights.
like a made up name, doesn't it, Marley Swindles?
I think Marley was like 10-2 at the time. Ricky had a good record, so for me to go in at 4-0, they were kind of like, this ain't gonna go well for Tank.
Yeah.
And I just whitewashed him out of there. If we ever watched the Jack Show on Fire documentaries, it's for that fight. But the juiced up Greek guy, that was Miley's favourite fight.
So Miley's, he's put a bit of his perspective on that. Mine's got to be the Flaminas fight. And if, as he said, he won with a rear naked choke, if I'd have sparked him after, if one of them A-makers landed, which, 9 times out of 10 they probably would have, if I would have sparked him or finished him, I'd still be fuming that I was just, I just like smelt a bit of blood, and I was like a dog running off a fucking lead, sprinting up the mountain kind of thing. You know what I mean? I'm like, and Carl said he was like
back in the Hereford Open now. He's exactly the same.
Carl was like, you're like a dog off the lead, and he was just calling me like fucking. And I was just fucking.
Favorite fight of all time
that I've been in.
Well, either or.
Fuck that. Got nothing jumping at me like the GSP Diaz one. No.
Mine's, again, no surprise. Diaz McGregor, for me, the first one. Just because of how it went down. Yeah. Because McGregor at the time was invincible.
It was
like he couldn't be beat at the time. He was literally, he was the Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas of MMA.
Oh, it was fucking.
This guy ain't gonna beat fucking Mike. Well, Nate Diaz ain't gonna beat Conor McGregor, not a fucking chance. But I kind of always I just had the feeling. That's why I made good money betting on that fight, and I won a big bet at the time. Yeah, I made like fucking £300 off like free bet off him and Misha Tate. I think I bet like submission, round 2 submission, but it was because of how the fight went as well. It was. You look at it, it's like the Tyson Douglas fight. Tyson knocked him down early, stuck it on him early, and it was the same. McGregor absolutely destroyed him for a round. All of a sudden, just flipped the switch. So, like, in terms... Because I remember watching it. I don't think I watched it live. I watched it the next morning, but I didn't know the result. And it was me, my old man, and Truth was sat in my old man's conservatory watching it. And I just remember the 3 of us like watching the telly, and it's always a funny story because my fucking old man, I know what he's like, right? First round's like, he's gonna get knocked out. Yeah, he's gonna get knocked out. He should never match this fight. He's gonna get knocked out. And me and Truth like, oh, come on now, Nate. Come on, Nate. So Nate like starts flipping the script. My old man's like, come on, Nate. Come on, Nate. And I'm like, fucking whoa, you can't jump ship as he's gonna win. And,
I bet he was like, he's fucked.
He was. But the 3 of us, we were like, what's fucking going on? And when he tapped then, and
I can't believe he tapped.
And he got on the mic and was like, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers. The 3 of us in the room as if we were there like, yeah.
Oh, that was... but I'd say now my favourite fight, Bisping Rockhold, when he beat him.
Oh, yeah, what a fucking moment.
That's the first fight that I've ever watched it where I was watching it, right? It was like 4, whatever time in the morning when the family is sleeping, right? I've been watching it, I'm like, fuck, you going? And then I just grabbed the pillow in the settee and just screamed as loud as I was like, yes!
And that's why, this is why MMA and boxing are the best sports in the world, because for every 10 main events that what way they're going to go, you know what I mean? Like a style bend, the fight. For every 10 that go the way they should go, there's that one outlier.
Yeah.
That, like your Bisping Rockhold, your McGregor Diaz, like Matt Serra, GSP, Weidman, Anderson, Silva. There's that one where the script, the rug is pulled from under us, and
Chael versus Anderson.
Chael versus Anderson.
That's my other most hated fight of all time. But there is, fucking
and that's why it's the greatest sport in the world. It's like I'm just trying to think if there's any like boxing. You see it in Mick Conlan before his last fight. He fought Lee Wood for the. I think it was. I don't know if it was for. It might have been for a world title. And Lee Wood has lost a couple of fights, but he's the champion. And they kind of set it up for Mick Conlan to like, this is your chance now to win a world title. And it was a good fight. And I think Lee Wood sparked him out bad with like 20 seconds left of the fight. And it's like, what the fuck are we watching you? But that's why it's the best sport in the world. Well, the both of them. You can't beat combat sports.
In boxing, there's
excitement.
no other ones that stick out like Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson is there.
No, that's the one.
I feel like I'm being really stupid there, but I really can't think of any more. No.
Carl Zaghi, Jeff Lacey was another one.
That was it, yeah.
Come on, Joe, what have we got?
Let's have a look.
We got any more? Just to mention as well, another quick plug, these questions are from Patreon members only.
That's right.
So if you want to get questions
what
in...
is a Patreon?
We're getting into it.
I've just been thinking there. Like,
it took Joe 4 days to explain to me.
Like,
they don't want to
say the word.
They don't want to hear that. No, I can't even say. I can't say the word. No.
What's he on about? Patron.
Patron.
El Patron.
So yeah, if you want to ask a question to the guests, so to me and Joe, you know, because obviously I can imagine a lot of people want to ask Joe questions. Then get them through you got to get on the Patreon.
Joey.
There's a lot that could come out, like, you know.
Freakbound. It's a meal deal at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, I see.
It's a meal deal a month. Who can't afford a meal deal a month?
That's it. You get a load of content for it. It's well worth it. Get on it. Right, we've got some more questions. Right. What's your favourite gangster movie? Being the gangster.
Donnie Brasco.
Good fucking
Number
film.
one.
Good answer.
There's also, I don't know if it's a gangster movie, Snatch. That's
right.
where my
the
walkout song of fucking In the Bushes. And I blame that on my Flaminas defeat. Like, 'cause I walked out with Ed Band. Fucking walks out. London. We're out the back. All the fans are going fucking nuts. And I'm thinking, how has this happened again? I'm in London. And then Ed Band on. Fucking In the Bushes come on. They turned the lights off just before I was walking out. I was thinking, oh fucking hell,
I'm the man.
They've done this good. And I just walked out. I just thought I can't lose now.
Underrated gangster film. Well, not underrated. For people our age, it's probably underrated. But I watched it for the first time on a plane in New York. It's Goodfellas.
I've never seen it.
Oh, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
Like, I have seen it, but I fell asleep. I fell asleep doing it.
It's kind of based, but it's not on like John Gotti and Sammy the Bull. It's a similar storyline, but they don't use the names. But I've never watched it, and I sat with my old man playing. He's like, "You never seen fucking Goodfellas?"
I've gone to watch it, fell asleep, and then you know when you put a film, you don't know where you fall asleep.
But it's one of those you've got to put your phone down, like you can't. You got to be in it, which is why it's good to watch on the plane because you can't.
Another good gangster movie, The Departed.
I haven't seen that one.
Fucking hell,
Scarface.
Have you ever seen? You've never seen The Departed?
I might have seen The Departed.
Jack Nicholson, Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon,
and
it's unbelievable.
Scarface is another one.
I think that might be my favorite.
Black Mass. Anyone watch that?
No, I've never seen that.
That's about Whitey Bulger. Tommy will like that one. That's fucking good. Black Mass.
Yeah.
Should we? Right. There's another one which I think we'll add a little bit onto this. It says, "What's the most gangsterist thing you've ever done?" I think we should have in and out of the ring on that one. On the spot.
In the ring. Probably when I did the Never Trust a Gangster. That was pretty. That was pretty good.
Promo.
Yeah, when I cut that. Yeah, that little promo thing. I can't go into outside the ring. That would defeat the object of being a gangster.
A gangster never tells.
That would reveal the mystery.
That would just completely. Yeah, no. Who asked that? Come on.
Can't say, mate.
Yeah.
Patreon.
Patron.
Yeah.
There's
a couple on there. Well, there's another one is just what got you into the WWE. That's the last Patreon question.
Oh, fucking like any other. Oh, I'm still obsessed with it now. Brock Lesnar probably.
Was it? Yeah, that.
Well, think 2000.
Can anyone remember WCW?
Yeah. You're a couple of years older than me.
From what I can remember, for me, because I used to love the WWE. I've been to watch it live. I've been to like pay-per-views live. I've been to the Cardiff shows.
WCW.
I remember watching The Rock and Stone Cold in Manchester on Armageddon pay-per-view. Me and my old man. We were right at the fucking back in the nosebleeds, but it was fucking awesome. I don't know. I'll have to ask my old man because I might have this wrong. But I'm pretty sure WCW is what got me into it because it used to be on.
He told me when I was working with him. He said you wouldn't switch.
I wouldn't switch. I was obsessed with Goldberg. That was my favorite on WCW. Yeah. And then I used to watch a bit of WWE because I remember knowing like The Rock.
Yeah.
And knowing like Stone Cold, and then
you wouldn't switch.
And then WWE bought out WCW.
Yeah.
And I remember saying it to me before my old man. He was like, "You're gonna lose your mind tonight." And I was like, what's going on? And then they had the big war, didn't they? Like they had like the crossover, and it was proper like nostalgic child, and then obviously I switched to WWE then. But
you didn't have a choice.
I remember,
unfortunately.
That's how long ago it was. I was watching my old man. Like he'd always let me stay up to watch Raw on a Friday night because he would work doing the DJing. And my mother would go to bed and like they remember the old sky boxes downstairs and you could plug the thing in so that you could watch upstairs what was on downstairs.
Yeah.
So you'd put Raw on and my mother would let me watch Raw because Raw would be on a Friday night and SmackDown would be on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So I remember watching that, and then the pay-per-views would always be on like 1 o'clock in the morning when they live.
Yeah.
And he would record. Remember recording it? I don't even know. This might be illegal, so fucking I haven't be stitching him up yet. But maybe you could record it on the like the videos, what they call VHS.
Yeah.
You could put it in a canoe and you could record those on the telly. And I'm pretty sure he's still got him in the attic, like WrestleMania 2001, WrestleMania 2002.
Oh, that was a golden era. That was. But
yeah, I used to love the WWE.
Yeah.
I think every kid growing up like kind of picture themselves
The
doing that,
NWO was like a fucking.
Do you ever watch TNA? I used to watch that. That was
little
bits.
bits. Yeah, they reckon our AEW is the new one now.
Yeah, but it's not. At the same time, they've just turned WWE into it's backed as a 14 rated now.
I've seen that. Yeah, they're going back to like so it might be worth watching again
because Vince has retired.
Triple H.
Shout out Vince.
Did anyone see Logan Paul at SummerSlam?
He's fucking outstanding.
Quality, yeah.
What a fucking athlete.
Yeah. You
Frog
look
splash.
at what he's doing and the backflips and all that, like effortless.
Because did I watch him at WrestleMania? He was good there, and,
He was good there.
I listened to his podcast, and he said he did 2 wrestling training sessions. He went to Florida because they got like a thing in Florida, haven't they? Like where they train
the
them all.
performance center.
He said he went there twice. He went there twice. He signed like
champion. He could.
I think he's
They
kind
could
of
put
on
the
like a
belt
Brock
on.
Lesnar deal where
Is he?
he's signed for him, but he's obviously not going to be there every single night. I bet it's kind of like they'll pay him per appearance.
Yeah.
But he's unbelievable. Like
Yeah.
Just
jumping
look at
over
everything
his
he
head.
does, though, innit? How can he do everything he's doing at once? Like, how can one man be like so focused on all these different areas?
He's a proper like smart guy.
What
as
an
well.
athlete, man! Good God.
Like him and Jake Paul, they get a lot of. Not so much Logan. I think Logan is universally more liked.
Yeah.
Because I think Jake kind of got famous for being Logan's brother. Because Logan's massive on YouTube and
He's not a non-seaver, like, yeah.
man, yeah. But yeah, he's kind of like universally more like Logan. I remember when I first heard of Jake Paul, I think, he's a bit of a dick, but his brother seems alright.
Yeah.
But like, say what you want about the pair of them, they're proper good. They know what they're doing when it comes to business as well.
Jake Paul sparring with that Hasim Ram
Yeah.
Jr. and he was pinging him. And
You
he
know
was
what?
talking to him.
And that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, he was going,
I
Jake
don't me
Paul,
wrong.
bitch,
I
bang.
do think that Rahman Jr. started off. He was trying to just like take him through the rounds,
Right.
and I think you could see
Maybe Jake Paul spars like a dickhead. You get
not
them
so much
people.
that, but I think you can see like he's working with him,
Yeah.
and also you can see he's hardly throwing his right hand. So I think they kind of said to him, "Can you go left hand dominant?"
Yeah.
So I don't think it was like an all-out spar with Jake, but at the same time, like like as a bit of a boxer, I love watching boxing. I'm always watching the spar wars on YouTube, and you watch how Jake, like this is 2 years ago, and you watch like his technique and stuff, and you think, he's not just because he plays this card, and I'm just a YouTuber.
Oh no,
No,
he's
a boxer.
Yeah.
You can see for the last 4 years, he's had a professional trainer training every single day.
Yeah.
After watching that, I generally believe he would have knocked Tommy Fury out.
Look at 100%.
Sorry to any Tommy Fury fans out
Look
there.
at Deontay Wilder. When did he start boxing? When did he first put a pair of gloves on?
Wasn't that long ago, was it?
No,
It was 2 years. He was in the Olympics.
within 2
wasn't
years
it?
he was in the Olympics.
So like Jake Paul is obviously, you can't compare the two, right? But just because he was YouTubing and he picked it up late or whatever, and he's only just now like he's clearly a good boxer.
Yeah.
And he's got power. He's got natural.
He's absolutely
he's got
folded
one-punch
Woodley.
power.
I couldn't believe what I seen when
And
he
he
did
can
that
box.
to Woodley.
Like whether we like them or
Christ.
not, like, there's a reason like KSI haven't fought him on
Well, you
on
wouldn't,
short
would you?
notice. You know what I mean?
Someone the other day was saying, they reckon the Woodley faked it. I was like, there's no way.
You don't
He
fucking
was
fall
out.
like that if you fake
No,
it.
he was fucking gone. Like,
Fucking
No.
hell, that was absolutely brutal.
But yeah, I think that's it. Then
Yeah,
we covered
yeah,
everything.
nice one,
eh?
mate.
So yeah, don't forget this will be out this week. So this will be out before the fight. So if you want tickets,
Instagram bio.
Instagram bio.
You're probably all gonna buy on Friday when you see the weigh-in.
Yeah, be a cracking good card, good amateur card. Me and Joe's gonna be there doing a bit of filming. H is gonna be there, of course. So get down there and support the boys. We don't get big shows coming to the valleys too often. So get in there and make some noise and make them want to come back.
And it's an early card as well, so we'll be done by 9 o'clock.
So you can get out on the
Go
piss.
out on the piss. That's what I'm going to be doing.
But yeah,
Maybe we'll bring fucking Bonner and the boys with us after.
We'll take them to Appley Spoons.
Maybe we'll have a little piss up after.
Where you going? What can you say?
Coolers. Straight to Coolers in Merthyr, guaranteed.
It'll be. I won't go that early. It'll be
level 14.
It'll just be a fucking.
In Ebbw Vale.
I'm just looking forward to just a few. Do you know what I mean? Skip a few beers. I just missed the summer of it now. I like a pint. You know what I mean? You know
I know that.
It's coming.
You know
But yeah, as always, like, share, subscribe. Check the Patreon. If you want to get some questions in for next week, let us know. Well, not next week, 'cause I'm in Dubai, but the week after that. Oban, thanks for coming on.
Nice one, Tank.
Wigan Gale, Instagram, Twitter.
Oban Elliot on Instagram. Oban Elliot MMA on Twitter. And that's it. I'm lucky. I'm just got quite a rare name, so I'm like the first one that comes up.
Don't forget as well, subscribe to. Oh, sorry, not subscribe. Follow the Tankdup podcast on Instagram and TikTok. And don't worry, we haven't just brought H to come sit in for 10 minutes. We got a Patreon episode or Patreon exclusive episode.
Oh, you're coming up today, next. Boys. Fair play.
We're getting it done. So thank you all for watching. See you on the Patreon.
Get those what we trap for. Some man they wanna chat shit till I knock 'em, ain't like I'm Jack Shaw. Rolls high, roll stack, my flow sharp like a hacksaw.